Hey there, Becca here from Inside the Square. Squarespace recently made some changes to the font menu in version 7.1, so I wanted to take a minute to record a new training for you so you understand exactly how to use that design menu to change all of the fonts in your Squarespace website. Let's go ahead and hop into my demo site and I'll walk you through it. So here we are in my demo site, and to get to our fonts menu, we navigate to design and then fonts at the very top. Now at the very top of this menu itself, you'll see a font pack. These font packs are pre-selected fonts that are paired together to update the look of your website. So let's just click on Anton here, for example. That's a sans serif font pack. And when I click on this, all of the fonts on my website are going to change. You can grab any one of these pre-made ones that you'd like just to make your life a little easier. They also have serif options, and then mixed, which is a combination of serif and sans serif. As you can see here, when I click on this one, all of my fonts will change to have serif for the heading fonts and a sans serif font for the paragraphs. Now, while this is great, these are not your only options. You can actually use any Google font or Adobe font on your Squarespace website by assigning it outside of this font pack. And let me show you exactly how. I'm going to click that back button and we'll navigate down to headings right here where we can see Adonis is selected as the font family. Don't worry, we'll get to all these other details here in just a minute. Let's focus on the font family first. I'll click on this and you'll see it says Adoni or Pontano Sans. Those are the two fonts from that font pack. But what if I want something else? I can click Browse All Fonts. And check it out, here's the list of fonts from Google as well as Adobe. A quick heads up, I actually made a list of Canva-friendly fonts available in Squarespace as well. So if you're a Canva user, head on over to insidethesquare.co/font list to get your hand on that list of fonts available in Canva and in Squarespace so you can have a cohesive brand across both of those programs. Again, that's insidethesquare.co/font list. Awesome, so let's say you know what font you like. I like the font Open Sans. So I'm just going to type Open Sans, and there we go. I can grab that sans serif font, and I can select Save, and now all of my headings have this particular font family assigned. It was not in my font pack, but I picked it myself. So I'll back out of here, and I'll show you that one more time on this main fonts menu here. Actually, let's go back to the beginning, shall we? Your main menu, select Design, select Fonts, and underneath that font pack, I've selected Headings. Here, I can assign a new font family. Now let's talk about these other options. Weight, that's how bold the font is. If I want all of my headings to be really bold, I can select like 700. Now these weight settings will be specific for different fonts. Not every font can be super bold or super thin, so your weight is going to change depending upon the font you decide to work with, okay? Now after that, we've got style, normal, or italic. My personal preference is to leave it as normal because I can always add italics when I'm entering information into the site. So if I'm in edit mode, I can make any font italic that I want to, so I like to leave that normal, but you do you. After that, we have line height. That's the difference between the sentences here, or the different lines of text. Let me show you what happens if we adjust this. Do you see how that space becomes much bigger? Awesome, so adjust that to what you're actually suited for your own site styles. After that, we have letter spacing, exactly what it sounds like. This is going to increase or decrease the spacing of the letters in that particular heading font. Now I want you to notice here, as I've adjusted that, the paragraph text, that's not adjusting. None of my other texts are adjusted. This is just for our headings, okay? We're in our headings font menu, so that's what we're working with. Now after that, we have text transform, uppercase, lowercase, or capitalize. Again, this is something you can do when just typing into your website, so I don't really recommend making those changes. And then at the very bottom, we have the different sizes. This is pretty important. All of these are going to be based off of the REM, which is fancy computer speak for the base font size. So let's say heading 4 is 1.6 REM. That's going to be 160% of the paragraph size that we have set here, the base font size for our website. Okay, so don't be too concerned about those REMs, consider that a percent. So heading 1, that's 600% of the base font size that we have for our site, so it's gonna be pretty big. Heading 2 is at 4 REM, 400%. Heading 3 is at 2.8, 280%, you get the idea. So play around with those numbers until you find a style that suits you best. I also want you to keep in mind your heading text, H1, H2, H3, and H4, While it's fun to play around with the design aesthetics of it, those are really important for SEO and for accessibility. If someone's using a screen reader to access information on your site, they're going to navigate between those headings. Those will stand out differently. So it's really important to make sure that you don't just use those for cool design tricks, but you use them strategically for your SEO and accessibility. Okay? Awesome. Let's select Save here and hop into a couple other menus. I've got a few more things to show you before you get to working on your own website, okay? So I've selected Save. We're going to go back. Now we have paragraphs. You'll notice exact same options. Font family, weight, which is the thickness of the font, style, which is where you can make it italic, line height, letter spacing, text transform, and once again, size. Now you'll notice paragraph 2 is set to 1 rem, so that's going to be the base font size right there. Paragraph 3, 90% or 0.9 to just be a little bit smaller. Play around with those sizes so it suits the style that you're going for. Let's hop back out of here and take a look at the 2 more main options in our global text styles. Buttons. This right here gives you the option to change the font size and the font family, but that's it. You can't have a different font for a different type of button. Just how all of your headings have the same font, and all of your paragraph text will have the same font. Now there is one little caveat there. You can change that with custom CSS. I have quite a few tutorials on this, and I'll link to some resources beneath this video, okay? So back to this menu here, we'll select Save, we'll hop back out of these buttons, and Miscellaneous after that. Now Miscellaneous definitely grabs things like tags, product prices, a couple of different features on your site, but it's not all of the other options. It's kind of a good catch-all to try and make sure that the fonts on your website have a cohesive look to them. So I recommend sticking with your paragraph text for this Miscellaneous option, just to make sure that it matches everything else. All right, let's hop back out of here because I've got another interesting thing to show you. At the very bottom, we have Assign Styles. Now check this out. When we click on Assign Styles, you'll see for my site header, newsletter block, and form, it's all assigned to either a heading or paragraph font, or button for the header button, but you get it. So my newsletter right here, that is on this page, so I'm going to see it in the Assign Styles menu. I'll show you one more time how I got there because it gets even cooler. We started our main menu, we hop to Design, to Fonts, and then scroll down to Assign Styles. This is where I'll find things that are on the page, like my newsletter block and my form block. So let's check this out. What if I want Subscribe to be a super fancy handwritten font? I can click into the title, click on the Style option, and select Custom. That's right, I'm not limited to the font that I've selected for headings or paragraph or miscellaneous. I can customize that specific title for anything that I want. So I'll open up this font family, select Browse All Fonts like we did before, and let's find a fun handwriting one, shall we? I know Adobe has a font called Tiffany, so let's look that one up. There we go. Now, as soon as I've clicked that, Tiffany is assigned to that one specific element on my site. And I can customize things beyond just the font family. All of our other options from that other menu are here for specifically that item I'm editing. So we can adjust the weight, the style, the letter spacing, line height, and the actual size of the text, completely custom for that one thing. I'm going to click this back button, and you'll notice here in Assign Styles, we've got newsletter block and we've got form block, but that's not all. I have a sample blog and a sample store on this site as well. So let's navigate out of this menu, and I'll show you. If we click Sample Blog and then hop back into our Fonts menu and navigate down to Assign Styles, I now have the option to customize the font for the title, the excerpt, and the metadata that's all here. So let's say I want this title to be its own unique font. I clicked on Title, so it opened that menu for me. I click into Style and select Custom. And once again, I can choose the font family and all of the other settings specifically for my blog title. Isn't that awesome? It's super customizable. You're not limited to the fonts you picked for your headings, paragraph, button, or miscellaneous. You can assign any font you want to that individual item in your font menu. I'm going to go ahead and click Cancel because we didn't change anything, and I'll show you that one more time with the Sample Store. I'm going to click on Sample Store now that I'm out of my Fonts menu. We're going to pull this up, and these are just some products that are listed in just the general Sample Store here. I'll select Fonts, I'll scroll down to Assign Styles, and I have my products list right here. You can see the list price is assigned to what I have for my miscellaneous or meta fonts. I can click this down arrow and customize that, make that whatever font I want it to be. Again, browsing all fonts, I can grab anything here, or you'll notice when I hit cancel here, let's say we want to change this list price to that handwriting font we already assigned. If I click into here, instead of using the meta font or miscellaneous font from the other menu, I'll select custom, and here you see font family. The handwriting font is right there. These are the 3 fonts that are currently on my site, so I can quickly grab that one. Let's say I want something completely different. I can always go back to Browse All Fonts and just search something in there. Again, the Adobe or Google Fonts database. But if I've already used it on my site, it's going to be right here because it's already installed on my website in the style guide. So that's how you can easily grab a different custom font if you've already assigned it to something else. All right, I'll go ahead and select save. We'll hop out of here one more time because I just want to really emphasize how cool it is that we can adjust the individual fonts for different aspects of our website. If I navigate out of that font menu completely and click into an individual item, I can hop back into my fonts menu, go down to Assign Styles, and now I'm on the product detail page. Change the item title, the price, the description, even the variant fields. All of those options are listed right there. As long as you're on the page where the element exists, you'll be able to assign it a custom style. Now I do want to mention one last time, not every element is going to be there in that Assign Styles option. There's some things you can't change in the design menu, and Squarespace is going to revert those to your miscellaneous font. If you know the code name in CSS for that particular item or thing, you can change it using custom CSS. I have a few font tutorials on this, like how to install your own custom font, how to change button fonts, all kinds of fun stuff. Check the links beneath this video to find more information if you want to customize it outside of your design menu options, okay? Awesome. That's it for this quick training on your fonts menu. I hope that walkthrough was helpful for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to post below. I'd love to help. Thank you so much for watching, and most importantly, have fun with your Squarespace website. Bye for now. If you liked this tutorial, you'll love my CSS cheat sheet. With over 30 pages of pro tips and code snippets specific for Squarespace, you can customize your site way beyond your design menu. Download your copy today at insidethesquare.co/CSS. That's insidethesquare.co/CSS.